How do you feel it's different now when we have text messaging and DM so we can like message? We have a certain time limit when we can respond, and compared to when you more than likely the only way of communication you had with a female was
with a woman
was when you were just talking conversation on the phone,
conversing over the phone or in person.
Correct.
I'm gonna let y'all go first, man.
I hate this shit, man.
Oh, Mary dude go lie.
I really. It's like I'm trying to navigate my way around DMs and text messages and shit, but I hate that shit because I feel like I'm the type of person that I like to shoot from the hip, like when I communicate with people. And if I'm texting it, I'm trying to be ultra strategic and like try to make the shit perfect. So I might have said some dope shit in person, and in a text message, like I'm scrutinizing that shit. Also, I hate it because niggas use the excuse of like I'm busy to not text you back, like, or it makes it more convenient to be like I'm busy in the conversation. And like make that shit take way longer than it has to.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a shoot from the hip. I definitely don't have no text DM. Well, I ain't got no DM game. I could text after I get to know you and I get a read for you.
Right.
But if I'm just out there like, hey, this is the DM. I like a couple of your pictures. You like some of my pictures. What's up? Like
that shit's so weird,
it's
bro.
different to me. Like I don't necessarily.
So what's the difference between a DM and a text?
A text, I actually got a number. So
right.
You know what I'm saying? I at least got access to your number. Not necessarily that is crazy because you can still block me at any time.
Right.
That's
and
another
find
thing.
out it could be a Google number after a while.
Right. That's one thing I do be getting mad at chicks for. Like if you try to get their number, like I'll give you my IG or my Snap or something like that. It's like, bro, you know you can block me like from your phone. You ain't even got to call the phone company or nothing. You could just block number. If I'm saying some wild shit, you ain't fucking with it. Just block me. Like that's cool. I'm okay with that.
So I would say is that in person, because 70% of what you're saying is not coming out of your mouth. You know, body language, tone, inflection, blah 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 blah. We all seen Hitch, but in person, I can gauge on how you're responding to what I'm saying. So I know, that workflow diagram going in my mind. Did she laugh? No. Right. You know what I'm saying? She still ain't laughing. Abort. You know what I'm saying? Right. With the text messages, it's like you got to have a long-term strategy.
Yes.
And I'm quick on my feet. I think very fast under pressure. So like going into a stressful situation, because hollering at chicks is stressful. No one wants to be I'm about to say neglected.
Very stressful.
But I guess rejected kind of work. You know what I'm saying? Hey girl, how you doing?
So you got to go do it anyway.
You know what I'm saying?
Man up.
So you got to have a long strong, because like you said, good morning, beautiful, and she don't respond till she get off work. She could legit be busy. But in our mind, it's like, oh man, she was talking to other dudes. And she just got back to me. They won't know
you had your phone in your hand. How you didn't see the text number?
You know what I'm
saying? They seen that shit. That's why I was like, that's why I hate how people make excuses around shit. Right. Especially people that be in they fucking like if you been around them. Yes. Yeah. You been around them, you been in the same space. You see them motherfuckers, they always got their phone in their hand.
I got a homeboy. I won't say his name, but he is on his phone 38-15, like 38 hours a day, 15 days a week. He is on his phone. However, getting him to respond to a text, a IG post, anything is not going to happen in a timely manner. And I just accept that from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's on his phone doing what he wants to do. And what he wants to do is not respond to people.
Right. And that's, and like you do got to accept it, but it's like, I feel like in this age, that shit getting out of hand.
It is.
Like, especially when people be like, "Oh, I was just busy." You ain't doing shit. Like you ain't like. People be acting like they on like president level of busy. And go ahead.
But I was gonna say, so right now, definitely, it shouldn't be any excuse because right now in America we have the highest number of people working from home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a real thing. I didn't even think about that.
And this week in particular, with the snowstorm and everything's going on in Texas, a lot of businesses are slowing down. Like I got a cousin works in a warehouse. She drives forklifts. A lot of trucks ain't coming in right now because they flipped over in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Joke, but no joke. Like governor in Texas need to get his stuff together. But
maybe that's why I got a response today. maybe that because that response did come quick.
Hey man, I'm telling you, man, people are at the house. The Valentine's Day over with, so you ain't got to put up with that person no more. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to be lonely on the 14th.
Right.
It's 21st.
But I do agree
Especially
with
if you're getting treated.
Yeah. I do agree with what you said, Napoleon, man. It's awkward as fuck, like doing the initial conversation in DM. Like the initial communication in text, like that shit is awkward as fuck. And that's what I hate about it the most. Cause like you don't like if I'm meeting you for the first time in person, like I can flirt with you like I like to flirt. And I can see, like you said, I can see the body language because I watch all that shit. Like,
you do be paying attention to everything.
And the fact is, like sending a DM, it feels like, yeah, I saw you over the internet and I want some draws. Hey, like, that's what I feel is loaded in my head.
Right.
And I feel like it's because we're at an age where we saw social media go from college, just being exclusively for college, it being it now. Some nigga who's like in his like 22 wouldn't think the same way that we see it. But like I feel like that's loaded in my DM message. That's like the only thing that's coming from.
What GTD stand for?
Get the draws.
That's my favorite episode of Mario, man. I'm sorry.
Right.
But yeah, I told one of my homeboys.
Or got the draws.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you slide. You know what I'm saying? Get got, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing.
Right.
A-E-I-O, you know, whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? Gut the draws. You know that word too.
If you do it right.
I told homeboy, he was like, man, I don't know how to slide no DMs. Man, what am I supposed to do? Because it's a lot of pressure DM sliding. Because I saw the guy that played Bobby Brown, Woody the Great. He made a video. He was like, when you DM sliding, be hungry, never thirsty. And I like laughed so hard at that video. Then I was like, you know what? That's true. And I gave him some advice for DM sliding. I was like, look, man, go to her page. You know, examine her page. See what she's interested in. So when you get in her DMs, exploit her interests. Right. And he came back. He was like, oh, that don't work.
It do.
Okay. There go the rhinestones again.
Listen, bro, I ain't mad. I'm that homeboy. I ain't embarrassed. I'm that homeboy. It's this nigga been dropping jewels in my life since I first met him. In the 8th grade. Like, this nigga been giving me fat boy hacks since then. Like, at first, I'm like, nigga, at first, when I was young.
He felt disrespected.
Right.
It could have been a delivery. Maybe somebody had put me on and I was excited.
Just trying to share with everybody.
Honestly, knowing you from a little bit, I can see you trying to come off more of a very, like, I know, a consoling way, so you're not doing it direct. So he could probably come.
I was in the 8th grade, bro. Like I did this Twon you see today is a finished
product.
You know what I'm saying?
It's refined.
You know what I'm saying? I had to learn my craft, my nigga.
Right. Because his delivery in 8th grade, bruh.
He ain't going to fight me on the low.
I did.
Nemesis Part 1.
Right. This was the original Nemesis. Big Grams was like the high. This was middle school Nemesis. Big Grams was high school Nemesis.
You know what? You know what's the worst about this story? The advice I gave him, he tried it. It worked. It made him even more mad.
Right, because to this day, I have been following that advice from the 8th grade. We was like 12, 13 in
13, 13, 14.
to all the way up to
20 years
34.
Damn.
Because it was 99, 2000.
Yep.
Hey.
This is when Cash Money took over.
Took over.
Hey, so you know the teacher that called me your name for the first time.
Yeah, she just got married.
Right. I had sent her the post in her DMs was like, you inspired this. And she was like, yeah, Twon told me a little while ago. I'm like, this nigga Twon always be active, bro.
So funny story about that, man. When I first moved back to Columbus,
Not like he was actively like trying to pursue her. Cause he's married. I'm just saying like,
I don't think nobody.
okay. I just want to make sure.
No, I
Nah,
appreciate him clarifying that. You know what I'm saying? But so back in 2009, I moved back to Columbus from Virginia. I see this said teacher at a bar. And I was like, oh, what's up, Miss So-and-so? She was like, man, you grown now, man. Call me whatever my first name is. And I was like, what? What's up? So I buy her a couple of drinks, we laughing, we talking. I get her number, but I didn't like get her number. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't text her and call her. I just got her number. Like, you know, so I look out for you. Boom, 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 boom. And then like, I was thirsty though. I slid in her DM, was like, yo, what's up? And she was like, I don't date former students. I was like, oh, word. Hey, you gonna drink my Long Island iced tea? Just gonna drink up all my Mai Tai.
Man. But nah, it really is crazy. Just even like what Drew was saying with the ideology of a 22-year-old or a Zennial or a Gen Z, whatever you call them. Like, they don't even think about talking to a chick, like getting a vibe. Like, they really own the whole, your avatar is this. This is what you do on social. You get to know a person's social media identity before you get to know the real person.
You know what?
Whereas us at our age, we used to the opposite. We used to knowing the real person and then saying, oh, that's what you do on the internet. Like, the internet is the first place you meet a person now, which is kind of crazy.
What hurt me growing up is that having an older sister, she was always on the phone. So I was never a phone person, like, because I had no access to the phone. When my mom got home, she was on the phone. My sister was on the phone. So I didn't call friends like after school. I didn't call friends after school. When I didn't get my first cell phone till college. And so like texting people and calling people to check. Like, I was always in person type of person. So when I got to college, I had to develop telephone skills with, you know, the opposite sex,
Right.
which was a struggle for me.
Nah, it was a struggle for me because, like, honestly, in college, I was used to calling because I was like, okay, a phone, I'm going to call. But everybody was on the text wave. So it was like, nah, you supposed to text. So once I realized that you supposed to text first, game, like, went through the roof. But it was like, at first I was calling and they was like, why'd you call? Like, what, you need something? We going somewhere? Like, what's going on? Like,
Is
you
it
call?
emergency?
Yeah, it's an emergency. What's up? Like, nah, I'm just calling to talk. Like, oh, that's sweet. I'll call you back.
It's funny that we remember a time when you'd get charged for the amount of texts you said on a fold plan.
Man, yeah. Free nights and weekends at 9 o'clock and all that, man. It's crazy.
Man, it was a 25 cent a text. And then people got the nerve to respond, K. Don't K me, bro. You like, you know, yeah, people look at my
whole paragraph.
I'm telling you, people look at my phone now and they be like, Twon, you need to delete the messages. God, right now, as we speak right now, I got 338 unread messages. And majority of those is K's and cool. Like, nah, if you not open if it's one word. You just get out of here. You ain't gonna text them again if they say so.
Man,
Have y'all had any success stories in the deal?
in the D, I'm not a DMer.
Me neither.
Yeah, I've had a success story before I got married. Definitely success. DMs be working, man.
But you
Pretty smooth individual, I know.
yeah. I mean, I can't hate on you. Like, I'm telling you, ever since I got past the whole nemesis part, and like I look back and like, damn, that nigga did teach me this shit. Like, I don't doubt shit you say no more. Like, when you tell me some advice, I take that shit to heart. I'm like, I'm definitely gonna try this shit. This is probably gonna work.
Yeah. But to go back to what Twon was talking about with Texas freezing over and all that good stuff with the trucks being stopped.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about that as far as like, bro, that's motherfucking crazy. Is it the end of the world? Because Texas really did freeze over.
Before we get into that, though, I want you to hold that thought, Andrew, because I want to tell everyone listening to this, that this right here is my homeboy Andrew.
This is my homeboy Napoleon.
And this is my homeboy Eric.
And this is my homeboy Twon.
And this is
My homeboys podcast.
Now, Andrew, get back to what you were saying.
All right, the reason why I said it was kind of a ha-ha moment is the fact that they're getting crippled by Mother Nature. They're getting crippled by Mother Nature, even though it's been going on for so long. Did anybody see the crash that happened
The
on the highway?
133 car pileup?
No, I
Yeah.
ain't see that.
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago.
That was insane. They had 18-wheelers going speed and slamming into cars. I saw cars flying off. I'm like,
Yes.
if I was in something like that, I'd be traumatized to the point I'm not driving anymore.
You know what the
During winter.
the most fucked up part about this is like just the people that's just like us have to experience like incompetence by like the government, like incompetence about how like their city and their state is being run, because like Texas 100% like chose to have their power grid set up the way it is.
Yes.
To save money.
Right.
To save money.
Right.
That was they was like, yeah, we can. I mean, there's a better way, but this one's cheaper.
Right.
That was the I guess the Cliff Notes version.
But
of why they did it.
I hate to be woke, man, but you know, like the whole reason why we celebrate Juneteenth is because them motherfuckers was like, fuck that, we not freeing our slaves.
Right.
Like them,
Slavery was over.
right. The whole rest of the country was like, slavery is over, and they like, fuck that. I'm like, we still doing that here.
But Texas has a long history of saying we're gonna succeed, we're gonna succeed,
Right,
we're gonna
right.
succeed from the state, from the union, and all this good stuff. And then to double down on your wokeness, y'all remember when it was a snow apocalypse here in Atlanta?
Yeah.
And on CNN, they were talking so much cash shit about the governor, the mayor, and everybody, how they ran Atlanta,
Right.
and they kind of put them and scrutinized them and all
Hell
that
yeah.
stuff. Are they scrutinizing Texas
Fuck,
like that?
They're dragging Ted Cruz though.
Just Ted Cruz, though.
But no.
Why? Why are they dragging him?
And I'll tell you why they dragging Ted Cruz. Not because he left the country, because he left his dog at home. That's when they got mad. That's when they got mad at Ted Cruz. They weren't mad he was in Punta Cana. They weren't mad at
Took
that.
his whole family, left the whole state.
He had to go south of the border.
They weren't mad when he came back. They was mad when they found you left your dog at home. That's when
Right.
they got mad.
Bro, it's just so funny, like seeing like fucking Fox News like justify and try to speak highly on what he did as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Like,
get outta here.
and how they try to spin that story. And it's like, bro, the shit that happened in Atlanta. First of all, niggas had heat at home. Like,
They just couldn't get home.
right, you couldn't do shit on the road, which is understandable.
I didn't think that was understandable.
Well, I'm saying,
Hold on, why not?
Because moving from North Carolina, even if the weatherman said snow might come, they would like plow the roads and salt it.
right, but
Well,
we
not
don't,
plow,
we
salt it.
never.
We never had that before.
But
Yeah.
that's the thing, though. I've been here since 2017, and it snowed about 2 or 3 years since I've been here.
Right. I've been here since fucking
That's why I'm asking.
1986.
Is it short?
1986.
And it's four times.
It's 4 recent times.
No, you said three.
But they
It's been
changed.
4 times.
But they changed after that first time.
Right.
They changed the whole way this shit was managed. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I got
they we didn't even have, like, most of the times in a state where this happens, they have the trucks within a certain distance of the state to come and be able to do that. We just didn't have the trucks here because
Because it was the highway that got messed up.
Yeah.
Or
And then
like
another
the
thing
main
that,
news, yeah.
and then another thing they don't talk about Georgia. Georgia's at the bottom of an Appalachian Mountain, so it's very hilly geographical region. With that being said,
Right,
it don't matter how much you snowplow and all that good stuff, how much salt you put down, you're not finna go up a mountain of ice. Period. In a
Right.
car.
Well, you shouldn't. There's people who will.
I mean, you can try. You got to get chains and all this stuff.
Yeah,
on you,
they-
you know.
yeah, that's what was even happening like off Camp Creek. Like there's roads that have fucking hills on it that you just cannot roll your car up.
Yeah, it
like
ain't happening.
you-
Not from the bottom. You can roll a motherfucker down that shit.
right. Oh my God. I was going down a hill. That shit was scared than a motherfucker, bro. I was like, I'm gonna die.
How many times you peed yourself?
Shit.
So who's the governor of Texas?
In the
Ted Cruz is senator.
Who is the governor of Texas?
Whatever his name is, not even
Some white man.
Yeah, some old white
Who's
man.
Republicans.
So
Right.
if you look at his track record, he's criticized other states for asking for federal aid.
Yeah.
He criticized California. He criticized
Because they want to succeed.
what was the state that had the hurricane? I can't even remember. But he's literally criticized every state for asking for federal aid for assistance with their national disasters. And what's the first place he ran to during this?
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
But see, that's the thing. I really hope that the people in fucking Texas, because everybody on our level experiences shit. Like, I hope that they fucking take this shit and change how they vote. Like, not to say they gotta vote Democratic or Republican, but actually like choose their candidates and actually pay attention to
clearly
this.
Ted Cruz don't care about you.
Right.
And just a quick note: Greg Abbott is the governor of Texas.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whoever that is. And then the mayor. It was another.
Oh, the mayor that wrote that Facebook post?
Yeah, the Facebook post talking about
pull yourself up from your bootstraps.
Yeah, pull yourself up, get it together.
If
No
you don't
one's
have
coming
power,
to save you.
If you don't have power, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Really? Because me, the guy that worked at the insurance company, supposed to have my own power grid in the city that I pay every month.
I'm pretty sure as a civil servant, your job is to protect me, right? Isn't that what you signed up for?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to make sure that motherfuckers whose job is to protect you are actually fucking protecting you.
Sounds kind of like police, don't it?
We should have inputted Lawrence Fishburne's School Days clip in here.
Wake up, bro. That shit. I know. We watch a lot of the same movies, and we retain a lot of the same. That's also like in my top 3 favorite movies.
What, School Days?
Yeah.
That's the reason why you went to HBCU.
Actually, it's not, but that's why it's my top 3 movies, because it's one of them things like, damn, like I watched A Different World and School Days after I went to an HBCU, and I was like, bruh, if I had watched all of this shit before I went, I would have graduated.
You would have went to Morehouse.
Shots.
I probably would have though, like on some real shit. Nah, cause y'all band trash. Come on, man. And band was definitely 75% of the. Well, it was back then. It was about 99% of the reason why I went to HBCU. Now, if I had seen School Days, I might have balanced it out a little bit more and put 25% on band and 75% on getting the education.
No, but talking about these movies, I do want to talk about Judas and the Black Messiah. Did everybody see it?
I actually haven't. The only reason why I haven't watched it is because I have a date to watch it, and
you gotta hold up to your obligations. Now, my question is: are you familiar with the Fred Hampton story?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Because when I asked Eric this, I'm not gonna ask you guys this because I know if Eric say he's aware, he's 100% aware. Me, I was familiar with Fred Hampton. I wasn't aware of his story.
Well, what do you mean? What'd you know then?
So I knew Fred Hampton was a prominent figure in the Black
leader.
Panther.
Look, one of the leaders.
So I'm telling you what I knew.
I got you.
Right. Not what I know now. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm not.
How you gonna tell me what
No.
I knew?
No. I'm not checking you. I'm not checking you. That's not what I'm trying to do. I was just using leader.
So yeah,
instead of prominent.
He was a leader. I thought he was a prominent figure. I didn't know he was a leader.
Got you.
I did not know his age.
Right.
And
Crazy.
I did not know. I mean, because I like Jay-Z. I didn't know he died on December 4th.
Yeah, I didn't know he died on December 4th either.
Once they showed that, it made the Jay-Z lyric come back. I arrived on the day Fred Hampton died.
Right.
That's on the Jay-Z song.
Was assassinated.
Yeah, and he actually fixed that line in the song, the new song. Yeah. So y'all go ahead. So the movie's powerful. Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen it, you can kind of just fast forward right here. But continue, please.
All right. So I didn't realize. I'm gonna go to their age because Fred Hampton was 21 when he was assassinated.
Right. They got things done a lot quicker at a lot early age back in the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
But go ahead.
They didn't have the internet to.
Man, made me feel bad. Like nigga, you
To-
crazy.
And I feel like trash after watching.
To
that
be
movie.
Blessed
to be
challenge
fair
is
though,
destroying us.
but to be fair though, to be absolutely fair, if you go out and if you've been a part of anything Black Lives Matter or not even just Black Lives Matter, any of the protests, the people are always 19 to like the leaders are always 19 to like 25. I was literally the old nigga in the room.
Nah, even Tupac said it. Tupac
Yeah.
got an interview when he said it seems like, we out here at 19, 20, 21, and it seems like something happened to the black man when once he hit 30, and he just like say fuck it and just get with the system and like forget the struggle or forget
it's
what
not
they went through.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the one that's in the Kendrick Lamar album, the interview that they play. But it's like, because to be honest, to be 100, this shit happened to me. Like when I was younger when I was doing this shit, like not to just like pat myself on the back, although I'm doing that a little bit. Like the whole buy black and all that shit, right? Like I look at posts on my page for like 6 years ago where I gifted my whole family an opportunity to buy black, right? I just bought a bunch of shit from a black company and posted about it. And like I participated in a lot of shit that's taking hold right now. You know what I'm saying? All those years ago. And like I was in the streets, like, like at protests and shit then. Now my focus as a 34 and, like year old man, it's just like, I don't know. It's not that I don't want to change the world, because I do want to change the world. It's just like I want to find like a more like a way to change the world from like a more like adult standpoint, because I have shit to lose now. When you young, when you like 19,
I think it's more like what I've seen looking at Judas and the Black Messiah is back then, if a movement got to a certain level, it was still real. But now
it was still what?
Real, like still
Authentic.
grassroots, authentic. But now if it gets to a certain level, it gets more politicized, and it's not necessarily going to go through and help the people it initially wanted to. Because I feel like more change is going to happen more at a grassroots level,
Yeah.
necessarily on a national level.
Right. And it's also because we don't see the grassroots level. Like, because there's a Malcolm X grassroots movement that has been going on forever, and they're very prominent in Atlanta. But if you don't go, you don't go to like the Malcolm X festival, or you don't go around the West End, you have no idea that this shit is going on.
Nah, you just put me on.
Yeah, because you don't see that, and it's like it's just. I feel like the largest level of media does an extremely good job of like filtering out a lot of this shit. Mm-hmm. Like even though we got social media and I think social media has been like the best tool in all of this, it still is only like you can still only see that shit if you look for it, even on social media. Cause like I look back at my posts and like I remember when I was protesting and stuff like that in the streets, like all the people I followed that I saw that were doing, and I mean these people got hundreds of thousands of followers now, and they posts never show up on my timeline anymore. And sometimes, I'll just see it and it's like, damn, I ain't seen shit from this person. Like, did they just stop posting? And then I go to their page and like, nah, they've been posting every day since then. Since 6 years ago, but I see the shit once a year.
Once again, it's that busted challenge. This fucking us
right. But I guess the reason why I'm interacting, I'm kind of addressing that is because the young kids is still out here.
Yeah,
they still out here in the streets. Like even fucking last year with George Floyd, like working where I work with a lot of young kids, and them motherfuckers every day was out there, like in the streets and shit. Like, and I work in an environment, in a company that actually, since that happened, embraces us having communication about it at work and like having a space for us to talk about it. So you get to see them tell their stories, and I feel like as you get older, you be thinking like, damn, all these young niggas is doing this busted challenge shit. But them motherfuckers, they finding a balance.
Yeah, they got a balance. It's all about balance. It's always about balance.
They got a balance between woke and ratchet. Like, or they got a balance between doing some shit that's gonna change the world and having fucking fun at the same time. I love that shit.
Nah, that's real. What I got to say about the movie, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm surprised that they put some of the socialist talking points that Fred Hampton had and lived and died by. Let's remember that. But to your point, Twon, and I know I was talking to Drew about it, they didn't put his age in there like on Front Street. Like at the end when they did the little credits and kind of said that, they should have put that he was 21. They said it, but they didn't necessarily highlight that. Like he's 21. What age would he be now?
Been like 75, somewhere around there. Because I looked it up because I saw him and I was like, that dude probably around my pop's age. And I did the math. He would have been like in his 70s, early 70s this day.
But they talk about all this stuff happened so long ago, and it's like, bro, no, this happened like yesterday, damn near.
Yeah. Lakeith's character, I believe, was 19.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And that's another. I don't know. It's certain things I like about it, but then like how. I'm not even talking about the European actor playing a black person, African American black person, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about?
Ooh.
The
Main
Daniel,
character.
the main character,
Daniel Kuyat?
Yeah, I'm not even
I gotta
talking
get
about
over that, man. That's cool.
that's not even what I'm talking about. I just don't like that they casted Lakeith and Daniel because they were so old. Like I get that, but they should have had younger characters playing them.
Should have had younger characters per se. However, if you look at them in the movie and look at photos, man, they did a great job.
No, they did a great job. They did a great job.
Like,
They did a great job.
I don't know if there is a 19-year-old that looked like Lakeith that could have played that role.
Bro, all these people in the world that's trying to be actors, they could have found somebody.
Yeah.
Trying to be that don't mean they can act yet.
But that's one hang
But
up.
it's like and people make it like they should have got somebody younger. Stacey Dash was 40 playing high school students, and no one says nothing.
Well,
that was
looked like she about 9. Well, she looked old now, but back then she did look young. But that's just one hang up. Like, so I feel like the age should have been a big thing. And then I don't really like the title because they say Judas and the Black Messiah. They didn't necessarily make Fred Hampton seem like a Messiah in the movie. Like they made him seem like he was a leader of the Black Panther Party. Yes, which he was.
I don't know. I disagree on that point.
Man, if he gonna be the Black Messiah, we talking about Jesus. Like we saying Jesus and Judas.
Yeah, it should have just been Jesus and it should have been just called Judas and Messiah because Jesus is black. But continue.
Right. No, but no, he should have been a larger than life character that we never really saw any human aspects of. Like the love story with Fred Hampton and all that stuff. I get it; it might have sold tickets, but you're taking away from what this man did. Like what he did was damn near unstoppable and
times have
amazing.
you watched the movie?
They had to kill. I watched it twice.
Watch another time.
Why do you say that?
So I feel like the part that you're missing, spoiler alert, that is one scene in particular that made me realize that this 20-year-old was larger than life is when he went into, I want to say the Klan rally, like they were a radical white group.
Oh yeah.
And he got them, like he unified. These people was saying the N-words and saying we hate blacks. And he walked in there, gave a speech, and they're like, "Yeah, Black Power." You know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree with that.
Like that is powerful. Like there's no way in the world that you can walk into a room full of MAGA supporters, Napoleon right now at 30 and whatever, and get them to say, "You know what? We support this young black kid." It's not going to happen.
That's true.
And he did that in the 70s.
And they also,
the 60s.
They also didn't say that Fred Hampton was organizing and doing and giving speeches at the age of 12. Like, it's a lot of stuff they didn't say about Fred Hampton, but they did say stuff about Judas. And then the Judas dude, he was just on some fuck shit. Like, even like in the beginning when they said, hey, spoiler alert, how do you feel about the assassination of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all this stuff? Like, Buddy was kind of really just money hungry. And
he was 17.
He got caught in some fuck shit. They said he ended up getting $200,000. Yeah, sure enough. But it's like they didn't show how unscrupulous he was. And then like even some of the shit, like how they had them eating at a white restaurant in Chicago, like that's not finna happen. You're not finna go to any restaurant. I don't care if you with whoever the president was, Nixon, and he got a quote unquote nigga at the table, they not finna let you eat at the table at this well-to-do white establishment. So some of the stuff just didn't really make sense to me. It's like but once again, I thoroughly enjoy the movie and like the message, but I just feel like a lot of times we water shit down so it would be palatable to white audience.
That's I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andrew.
No, the thing that got me about the movie the whole time was the character playing the Judas from the title is when they said, we got you on 1.5 years. You gotta go to jail. And then say maybe up to 5. I'm like, how is this dude just not calling it quits after that shootout that took place? Because in 6.5 years in prison, I'm not gonna have my life endangered. I don't get it. I don't know how he bailed. I feel like there was more to them having on him than saying 6.5.
Well, so yeah, they did. In the movie, they just as soon as he, spoiler alert, stole the car,
we're gonna put you in jail for 1.5 years.
He got pulled over immediately. In real life, he left the state. Or I won't even want to say, I think he left the state.
They got him in another state or
like,
something.
I want to say Canada. I could be 100% wrong about the Canada part. But they definitely got him like out of state. It wasn't like, as soon as he stole the car, they got him that same day. Like, nah. So they was definitely trying to trump up charges. But I think so after I watch movies like this, I do a lot of research. And which one's the bad guy there? Protagonist?
The antagonist.
The antagonist in life for me, because he took all the black heroes.
Oh, Jay.
My God, Hoover. Like,
yeah.
He's a terrible person.
Terrible human being. Has always been a terrible human being.
Yeah, like the FBI literally plotted against every black leader. And then they're just like, when people would sit here, the government wasn't against you. I'm like, the whole FBI was.
Right.
So
that's all Hoover did.
Yeah. So a couple things.
Biggest threat to America.
I wanted to say, when you said like they watered down stuff, that kind of goes back to the whole like what's the show that came out last year on Stars? No, HBO. All black cast. It's like aliens and shit like that.
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
I feel like in media they water down everything in order to kind of like make it palatable to white people. Because again, if you just flat out say y'all motherfuckers is the villain, which is the true story, you won't get the movie out. I think in this day and age it's getting to a point where you can kind of say it. So I hope like 10 more years from now we'll be able to just go flat out like tell the story how it was and call the villains. But we kind of still at that point.
Yeah, you can't really call balls and strikes right now. You still have to pacify the masses.
Yeah. And
that comes back to all the major studios and networks being controlled by the same group of people.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it's just like, do you want a watered down version of the story where they can still get something from it and hopefully do their own research, or do you not want it out at all?
Do you think that movie sparked people to do research? Because there's actually a bunch of videos of him doing actual live interviews and stuff on YouTube. But the percent of people who actually watched that movie, how much did you think it actually drove interest to go really look for yourself?
I think it
seek out that.
I think it really does. It's just no way to tangibly know that. Mm-hmm. Like there's no way to know like how many people actually did. But I think the product, I think the movie even coming out the way it did is a product of like the interest being sparked all over this time. Cause like now we go from the slave movies, like we go from the era where it's just all slaves and it's all just torture porn against black people, where you get to actually see movies about prominent black figures that are just about like praising the prominent black figures. And it's not so much from the white perspective like it's always been. Like the whole
I think a white writer wrote this movie.
What I'm saying is like even in the movie, like we're able to get a glimpse of what really happened and things. Like even like One Night in Miami, like these conversations, like we're actually getting to see these people as human beings and not just like
figureheads.
Right. I know you wanted to see him be more larger than life, but he was just a human being. I've always felt like, cause I feel like one day I'm gonna do some really dope shit in life about moving the culture, right?
Again?
Huh?
Again?
Yes. I do the shit, but I think I'm gonna do it from a large scale. But one thing I've always told myself, like recently, is like Martin Luther King was a man just like I am. Like,
yes,
all of these people are men just like we are. It's just like making a decision to fight for something so hard that you're not afraid to lose your life over. Mm-hmm. And the unfortunate thing is we do live in a country or in a world where you will lose your life over doing good shit. Like, I mean, from the purest standpoint, you will lose your life, but you have to be willing to, because the legacy, the things that you change in the world will affect way more people than just your home or like your small circle.
I absolutely understand. So let me explain myself a little bit more now that I think about it. So when I say he should have been larger than life, I'm thinking, okay, think of how they filmed Darth Vader. Like Darth Vader, he's very much a character. Very much a cornerstone of the Star Wars movie and all this stuff. But you never get to see any of his human aspects. Anytime he coming in the scene, he fucking shit up. That's how Fred Hampton should have been portrayed on screen. If we're gonna call this movie Judas in the Black Messiah,
I mean, him floating on water.
Yeah, they
see him floating on water when he walking through to give his speech.
They put too much human aspects in there for you to like. So for black people, we're seeing it as, oh, a Black Messiah film about Fred Hampton.
I want you to hear what you just said.
Yeah.
You said they put too much human aspect in there, right?
For Fred Hampton, yes.
Fred Hampton, at the end of the day,
Wasn't human.
But don't call it Judas and the Black Messiah.
The Judas and the Black Messiah is just talking
superhero.
about how Judas betrayed Jesus.
Yeah.
Not on you're focusing too much on the Messiah,
Yeah.
and not on the connection between the two.
I see
But
what you're saying,
Jesus was a human.
They should have had exactly,
I mean,
and they should have had more Judas. Like, okay, then another aspect of it is like they showed Judas, but why didn't they show Judas after? Like, why did they start off
They
with
did
him?
it during the credits.
No, I'm saying they showed him a little bit. I'm talking about his
clip.
life, his everyday life when he in WITSEC and witness protection and trying to hide from all these people after he didn't got the money.
They did the BET Black movie thing. You know, he went to
Right, yeah,
they
that's
did
what I'm saying.
Because at the end of the day, I think you want to see more of a documentary. And there's a wonderful documentary featured on PBS on the Black Panthers.
I think
Because at the end of the day, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's only so much you can do in 90
That's why
minutes.
he's asking for the proper exaggeration.
Yeah, I want it to be exaggerated in the right spot.
I get that
Yeah.
too.
Movie. This ain't that.
But they.
And I see what you're saying.
But at the end of the day, it's a movie about humans. It's not a fictional, light years away. There's this guy with a red lightsaber. It's not that. We're making a movie.
They make J. Edgar Hoover look good in all these other movies they put in.
And he's also white.
Right, they made J. Edgar
like a
Hoover
good guy. And he's terrible.
They made him look larger than Fred Hampton, but
That's
Fred
make
Hampton
believe.
is the Black Messiah. Like, what the fuck? Like, no.
I think you're being too literal in a
I
metaphorical
might
title.
be. I might be.
Which is cool.
I might be,
This
but
is-
I'm just saying.
This is the first time I've ever seen you pull off the Napoleon lenses and look at things like an actual movie. I'm actually in shock right now. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm like, nah,
That
you can't do
respect
this to our Black history, our Black leaders, our Black stories. This is like, and then all of this is American history. So all you doing is lying to the kids by showing them bullshit and be like, oh yeah, he was a regular.
I can't call it BS, but
I'm not all bullshit.
He was
Not
a
all
regular human
bullshit.
being. At the end of the day, he's a regular human being that did extraordinary things. You want him to be portrayed as an extraordinary being.
So this is my thing. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm just going based off of what y'all saying. Like, I appreciate the human of it more because like that's what makes people research it. That's what makes it. Well, even if you don't research it, that's what affects you the most about how you change as a human being, like, and how you grow as a human
Right, but
being.
that's usually covered when it says based off a true story.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I mean, for you, maybe like you on the intellectual level that you are, but I'm talking about for the children watching this shit. Like the people who fucking 19, 18, like they already with the shits. They already with the shits. But that might be the one thing that's like, oh shit, like I'm closer to being able to be Fred Hampton than I ever thought I was. Cause they already know about Fred Hampton. They already know, like, or shit, that might help their family understand why they're being who they are. Because a lot of times with like even just like protesting and being a Fred Hampton, like your family don't feel safe with you being that person because they're afraid to lose you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like I feel like overall the greater I feel like the greater good is like more in making a person on screen look like you than it is like making him look like this larger than life person. Like they've always taught us about Martin Luther King.
Well, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I agree. Like the greater good. It is for the greater good that we did get this on screen, and hopefully people do their actual research and understand who Fred Hampton was, what he was fighting for. And that's why I said I think it's crazy that they even let this socialist rhetoric get in the film, because America is not a socialist country. I personally don't even know if we should be one. That's a whole nother topic and all this good stuff. However, it's like to put that in there at this point in time, it's kind of crazy. Like, wow, I'm happy it's in there, but it is kind of crazy.
So I guess
I had a question. It's kind of chauvinistic about the movie, though, I guess.
Well, go ahead.
So the leading lady they had playing his soon-to-be baby.
Nah,
mama.
we don't want to hear what you was about to say. Eric.
I was just gonna say, since we talking about films, man, we might as well talk about
I'm just saving you, bro. I'm just saving
Malcolm
you.
and Marie.
I actually want to hear his question though.
This is just a throwaway question. We're not gonna answer it. Go ahead and say it, Andrew.
All right, because they tend to put more attractive women in movies. Do you think he had a fine leading lady in his movie? Because that's what she played.
So with Malcolm,
You mean in real life?
No,
So,
I'm
yeah, so
talking
Malcolm
about
and Marie.
I'm talking about in the movie. I'm just asking.
So all right.
With Malcolm and Marie?
Yeah. So
That was with hey.
I did tell you before you said the question that it was throwaway.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
I didn't mean no
Okay.
disrespect or shade with it. It was a real logical question how movies are based and how they make it. You over here talking about you want this nigga to be more exaggerated, not human life.
So you saying you wanted the white?
I was just seeing y'all opinion. I was asked.
So if you go to the My Homeboy podcast page and you see the group picture, tap on it one time and the people tagged. That wasn't Twon.
Y'all know my voice, so it wasn't me.
Another thing with this movie, I will say, since we are bringing the young lady up, I don't know the actress's name or actor's name. She's actually still alive. Why didn't they go to her and make a love story about Fred Hampton instead of making it a betrayal story about Fred Hampton? If they want to tell the Fred Hampton story, because it seems like all they wanted to do.
I read somewhere that her and the child and her son were both involved in the making of the movie.
How much?
I ain't involved in the movie.
No,
The casting, and y'all just crucified me. Now you know.
No, we did not crucify.
that Messiah getting to him.
But he walking in on water, you'd have been like, "There you go."
There's a song for this. Feelings so deep in his feelings.
Nah.
Or the new Jasmine Sullivan one, Pick Up Your Feelings. Speaking of Jasmine Sullivan, yeah, she's fine. That album is fire. We don't even got to talk about it no more.
Nah, I haven't heard it, but I agree. I'm for women talking their shit, like Megan and all
I
that
love
shit.
that
I'm for
shit.
women talking their shit.
I
man.
love that shit. That shit is fire. One more time. I've listened. I can't relate to none of the fucking shit on there at all. But the album is fire as fuck.
It gives you a perspective, and I feel like that's what good art does. It gives you a perspective that you wouldn't normally have. So if anything can give me a perspective that I wouldn't normally have, whether it be a podcast, whether it be a picture, whether it be a film, whether it be a conversation, whether it be a video, any sort of media. I can list media all day, but any sort of media that gives you a different perspective and shifts your outlook on the world, it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's worth the time, it's worth the effort, it's worth the money, all that stuff. It's worth it. So I appreciate all of it.
So Malcolm and Marie, on that same kind of like shift in perspective, like how y'all feel about Malcolm and Marie? Y'all watched it?
I ain't watch. It was a love story.
Bruh. Bro, I'm telling you, somebody listened to the Valentine's episode and said to me directly, who hurt Andrew? And you just confirm it every time.
Man, I'm just being.
You know, and someone listened to our first 3 episodes and called me and said, who hurt Andrew? I don't think it's just one episode in particular. It's okay, Andrew. Lakeith Stanfield, just go back to Judas and Black Messiah. He said after he did that role, he had to go get counseling. He had to go to therapy. And I will
encourage you to go get counseling and therapy. You know, I consider myself a mental health advocate. And Drew, I love you, dog. We all need the shit, to be honest.
I agree.
We all need the shit, but you need a little bit more.
Hey, speaking of DMs and text messages, you can text your counselors now. You can ask for that. You got teletherapy. You can definitely, you ain't gotta leave the house.
Oh, he familiar.
Yeah,
so
you just don't, you know.
They still work.
You've been researching and looking. Go ahead and take the lead.
Nah, that's not why.
He was like, fuck counseling. Like, I'm okay with being hurt and spilling out. Right. He's like, I'm okay with being toxic. I actually enjoy it.
Speaking of toxic,
that's
again.
what. Hold up. Let me land. In fact,
I'm waiting for it.
In fact, the Ninja Turtles became the Ninja Turtles because of some toxic ooze.
They became heroes, right?
There's also some bad guys. You more of a bebop and rock steady type guy. Playing on your Jamaican accent. See what I did there?
Hey,
Yeah.
All right, so Malcom and Marie.
Yeah. Speaking of toxicity.
Yeah, exactly. What y'all think about that?
I want you to go first.
Oh, man.
I hope you come from the place you was going to come from with...
Hurt, man.
No, what's the movie that was on Amazon?
Damn. Sylvie's Way, whatever. Nah, so I seen Malcolm and Marie, and it definitely hit. For me, this is, Napoleon speaking. To me, I feel like another white dude wrote it. But I felt like it spoke to me. Malcolm was the embodiment of like a non-impoverished, non-drug dealing black man, which a lot of black people are. Like a lot of times when you watch television, they make it seem like, everybody might know a drug dealer because everybody done bought some weed or did whatever, but everybody ain't the drug dealer. Everybody ain't that. So I felt like he was an educated black man, and his wife was or his girlfriend at the time was an educated black woman. So it seems like they're educated.
Zendaya was black in that movie?
She mixed. So yeah.
Zendaya mixed?
Ain't she? What is she?
Yeah, she's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She gotta be mixed.
That's clearly obvious.
I just thought she was from them Kardashians was from. I didn't
No.
I didn't know she was
She gotta be mixed. I just figured she was mixed. I really never looked.
She's
about Google.
I thought she was from the mountains of Caucasus.
Zendaya's not
some
one.
part of her was, but
I felt like it was a good thing, and it also talks about how sometimes we're talking about, like, you might have an issue with a significant other, and both of y'all are talking about two different aspects of the issue that you have. So from the outside looking in, watching it, it's like they clearly love each other and they want to be with each other, but one of them might be insecure in this aspect where the other one is assertive, and vice versa for another aspect. So they keep getting into it, but it's work, and they're not necessarily working in the way that TV portrays it. Like, our marriage or our relationship is going to be this big happy
They working
place.
at it in a real way.
Yeah, they working at it in a real way. So a lot of people say, we played with the toxicity and all that stuff, but I do feel like, I might be toxic, but I feel like that's how a relationship works. You're going to get in arguments. We're not going to, be happy with each other. Not be happy with each other, but we're going to get into arguments. But the relationship aspect of it is saying, hey, you know what? I care about you. Let's work on this shit. Not, fuck it, I'm out. Not, I'm finna, take low shots, which Malcolm did, which was damn near bitch made to me when he did it. And all that stuff. So I don't know. It hit home for me. So that's how I feel
like both of them took a lot of low shots. I feel like they weren't. When you go to premarital counseling, my premarital counseling told us that we had to learn to fight fair.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what I'm saying? He said, I'm not gonna tell you that people who are married don't fight. These fights happen. But what I used to tell, people it's not that you're upset, but it's the way that you're upset. I stole that from some R&B song. I can't even remember. But so I felt like the way they were mad at each other wasn't healthy. By no means.
Okay.
They weren't fighting fair, in my opinion.
They definitely weren't.
And then I feel like, which one it made for a good movie, but like say this was happening in real life. When they're that upset at each other, it's definitely okay to step away, decompress, write all your ideas out. That way you don't have to go take a shower and come back. What you mean by that? You know? It's a good movie, great movie. John David cannot not sound like his daddy. You know what I'm saying?
At all. He can't. He walk like his dad, bro. Pause,
Bruh.
But still,
bruh. John David, bruh, he gonna be big, bruh. He's gonna be. I feel like he's gonna eventually be bigger than Denzel.
Oh, you can't say that.
I feel like John David as an actor, like not saying that he's better than him now. I'm saying the trajectory. I'm saying the range.
He has more range than his daddy.
Man, and then like he acting in so much shit, and like you said, the range like of characters that he's playing, and it's just I'm not shitting on Denzel at all. I'm not taking anything from Denzel. I think this is like Dale Curry and Steph Curry,
right?
Like
you're disrespecting Denzel comparing him to a Dale Curry.
No, I'm not. No, you're missing the point.
This whole thing.
No, you're looking at somebody who played in the sport and one who's going to be a Hall of Famer. Denzel is not just did not just.
But
act.
that's not
what you meant.
His point is he's going to take where his father went and transcend that.
Right.
That
That's
level.
what I'm saying.
Good luck.
I mean,
Why?
he called it. How about this? He called it.
It wasn't that hard for Steph to like transcend what his dad did. People that even wasn't aware of his dad till he blew up more.
Napoleon, you're being too literal. You're being too literal. It's a metaphor. You know.
I'm telling you, that's why.
Right, because I'm not. All I'm saying is
it's literally a bad metaphor.
It's not a metaphor. It's a simile because you said like.
That's why it's literally a bad simile.
Nah,
right? No,
it wasn't. It was a great.
All I'm saying is okay. Let's. That's just what fucking parents or being a parent
would have been a better comparison.
I'm just saying, parents in general, being a parent, what you're supposed to do is make a child that is a better copy of you.
Right.
Like, and that's all I'm saying. Like,
that's a whole nother topic. But
right, it's a whole nother topic because if we take Michael Jordan and we take Marcus Jordan, like in basketball,
why you do Mark like that? I don't even know Marcus. I ain't even know his name. Why you do Marcus like that?
How about Jeffrey? You know
I'm there with you, Marcus, Jeffrey, and his daughters too. With all of them.
But it was easy for Dell. He wasn't a great player. But go ahead.
he was in the NBA.
He wasn't like a great NBA player.
But that's
the best. Well, he's one of the best basketball players in the world.
Right.
He was in the NBA.
Right.
Dell's a good player. Don't let his.
He wasn't. Steph Curry was so good. He got his jersey number retired in Charlotte. Nobody even clamored for him. I was in North Carolina. I knew who was on the Hornets, and he never got no buzz.
Well, that's not what we're talking.
That's the side
You're missing it.
You're missing the point.
You're missing the point.
You missing the point.
Yeah.
Just
he can't get past basketball.
Right. He
all
got
Steph Curry do is shoot threes. You know, that's what we're saying. We're saying the father-son aspect of it.
Yeah, he's saying the father-son, and then the father hit a plateau, the son will pass that plateau.
Yeah. Right.
You're saying one is easy, we're saying one is hard, but he's still going to do it.
And Andrew over here talking about, so John David can't shoot?
I love it. But
I know. I will say, like, it's definitely like watching John David and the things he's done, especially Tenet. I feel like that's a whole other thing. Tenet was an amazing movie. If John David,
underrated movie.
It was hard for me to watch that though.
But yeah, it's not nepotism. Him getting these gigs and all this stuff is nowhere near nepotism.
Yeah, because he's fucking talented.
Yes.
He is fucking talented. Have y'all seen Black Klansman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen Ballers?
Yeah, he
Like,
watched Ballers.
I saw that movie. Yeah.
This is a
not
show.
just-
Oh yeah, this is a TV show. with The Rock, but-
Cap.
Nah, this
He
is-
seen it. He slid put me on Ballers. So it's like,
Oh, Cap. He yelling at me on the text thread right now.
I'm just saying, like, and then I think the dope thing about it is fucking a fucking dialogue movie, a whole movie about dialogue.
So I would tell, I got friends who don't like plays, and I was like, hey, before you watch Malcom and Marie, it's a play with a budget.
Yeah,
And he was like, oh, okay, cool.
that's
cool,
kind of
cool.
like how all the movies, like this little era right now in movies is like,
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got a Mean Street with the Ma Rainey movie,
Yeah.
One Night in Miami, and this one.
yeah, like it's like, but I think it's dope that like casual fucking movie watchers are watching this shit. Like, so it's like people are getting exposed to an art form that already existed, but like on a mainstream level. That's how I feel about it.
yeah. I definitely agree, and I do. You know, we hit that hour mark, so I do want to go into final thoughts. Anybody got final thoughts? Any topics that we didn't get to touch on, or anything that we did say previously?
I'll just go first, man. Shout out to, or condole, whatever you want to call it, all my people that I know in Texas, even if I ain't call you because I'm a shitbag. Like, I still love you, and like, man, I'm glad y'all made it through that shit, and like, y'all are okay, because I couldn't even imagine experience any of that shit. Like, we had snowpocalypse here, but I was definitely in my home with the heat on, like, throughout the whole process. No, that's it. That's it.
All right, for my final thought, going back to the snowstorm, my biggest thing about it, apparently down there, you don't have to get a fixed rate on your electricity, so you can get it at a fluctuating price depending on demand and how much it costs. But through this time, a lot of people who had their plans based off of that, they're looking at $7,000 utility bills for the month, $16,000, and a lot of everybody who's had it
Are you
set
fucking
up.
serious?
Oh yeah, that I got this circled on my.
Oh
on
yeah.
my plan. That's
Some people
my
got
biggest thing.
17K bills.
So
But the power went on.
Exactly.
they still charging them. So a shout out to them. Hope y'all get through it and the state give y'all back y'all money.
Man,
And
fuck
some of the
Texas.
people- and some of-
Not
hey,
the people in Texas, the incorporated
you-
government.
They ain't got to secede. Let's kick them out. Let's draw the paperwork in.
Listen, all the
say.
people who live there, we accept y'all, but fuck Texas.
and people had their junks on.
We, the
out of
Georgia
draft.
delegates, will like to trade Texas for Puerto Rico. That way we ain't got to change the flag.
Right.
Oh, damn. Just draw the lines different, right? It's just- Oh man, my final thoughts. Let me see. I don't know, man. I most definitely shout out to everybody in Texas. Yes, sir. That's amazing final thought. Most definitely check out our podcast on website. You know, go get hoodies. They make great gifts for Valentine's Day,
Right.
for Christmas, for spring, for hot girl summer. You know, all that good stuff. They just make great gifts. So buy some, gift them, and all that good stuff. Then I also want to say, you know, check on your friends. I recently had a elementary school friend that passed, and I would just say, man, check on people, like, cause I know her since elementary school. I haven't kept in contact with her, and then you know it's crazy how people cross your mind, and you just having a conversation, and then they cross your mind, and then like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, they show up in your life in some way, shape, or form. She showed up in my life, however, it was her death passing. So condolences to her family. And you know, you never, it's like, especially in elementary school, people affect your whole life and psyche, and you just don't really even know the amount of influence they had. And the one thing I've realized about death with her passing is the most fucked up things about it is you never get to say two things. You never get to say goodbye, and you never get to say thank you. And I definitely want to say goodbye and thank you to her.
I just want to double down on what you said. Like, man, we are all connected. Normally, whenever you feel somebody cross your mind, it's an important like energy vibration. Don't fucking deny that shit. I used to do it all the time. Like, people think about people and just like not reach out for like not wanting to be rejected, but like I'm trying to get way better than that. like in life, and I think like it's important we do that because, like you said, you can't say goodbye and thank you once they gone. Like,
right.
Twon, you got anything?
My final thought. I hate that the episode's ended on such a dark note, but Prince Markie D, bro, like y'all,
Oh yeah,
Prince. So being light skinned in America, especially more importantly, Columbus, Georgia, that is heroes like Prince Markie, and y'all don't know who Prince Markie D. He's 1/3 of the trio, the Fat Boys. Passed away this week. Disorderlies was on at my house like every day. Like I can quote it.
that's how Crush Groove was for
Right.
me.
You know
I
what
like
I'm
both
saying?
of them.
I watched Disorderly too. I actually bought that movie like last year again. Although I
thought
already
it was
owned
the same
it.
movie, and then I remembered it, and I thought it was the same movie, and I was like, when they going to the nursing home?
But yeah, so Prince Markie D passing. My favorite Prince Markie D memory. I went to Miami for a bachelor party. It was my first time in King of Diamonds. Juicy J just dropped "Bands Will Make You Dance," and it was on rotate. Like I've heard that. So I knew all the. It was my first time hearing that night, and I knew all the lyrics by the time I left the club. That's how many times they played it. But Prince Markie D was the DJ.
Damn.
And he used to do radio in Miami, and I was like, "Yo, that's Prince Markie D." And all my boys like, "Who?" It was Prince. It's the Fat Boy. So that's my favorite Prince Markie D memory, man. So,
Bro, quick. I thought them niggas was way older than what they were like at this age, because that was so long ago.
right,
But
we watching Disorderlies. We're what 6, 7.
Right.
It came out like 94.
Yeah.
And they were what 18, 19 in the movie.
yeah, well, they was a little bit older, but
Yeah, but still they weren't that much older.
yeah.
You know, as a kid, you see somebody, you know, with a rap career. In
Right.
movie,
You always think they like 30, 40 years old.
and
Like,
you think 30, 40 years old is way older, right? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that one, when I seen that, I was like, damn. Because I definitely watched Crush Groove. I watched Disorders a lot too, but Crush Groove was like my first ever favorite movie. Like, I realized in hindsight, that was like my first ever favorite movie because I watched that movie so much as a kid.
Yeah, Crush Groove and Electric Boogaloo.
And my favorite part was the Fat Boys, all you can eat. I was like, I remember being a little like, damn, that shit look good. Like they were fucking that shit up. I want some of that pizza, God. That big ass slice of pizza.
the New York pizza.
This is gonna sound vain, but the only thing I got out of Disorderly, for real, this is really the only thing I got.
Is a fat dude can get a bad bitch.
Bruh, yes, my man. And I was like, yo, like so when it was like, man, you fat, you ain't gonna get no girls. So I was like, yes, I can. Let's go.
That was the birth of fucking Twon as I knew him. Damn, I wish I had internalized it like that when I was little.
Yeah, you too busy looking at the food.
Yeah, it's near the end of the episode. You can't get him back here. You can't get him back.
I know, right?
You can't. This man mad.
This nigga won.
You should see his face. You should see his face. He was like, "Fuck, I can't get him back." He was like,
That's my twin, though.
Hey, right. Hey, that was a nice way to bring the energy back up.
Oh, man. Look, man, this has been another edition of my Homeboys podcast. This is my twin, Eric.
This is my homeboy, Napoleon.
and this is my homeboy Drew.
This is my homeboy Twon.
Look at you, Drew. Doing it for real. I'm sorry. I got excited. Drew did it properly. My bad. That was good.
Oh, I did it properly twice.
I know this.
And the
whole
same episode,
the
bro.
same episode, bro. I love it.
He
man.
can operate hurt.
Man, I know. I know.
Staying on brand.
Man, yo, that was a dope episode, man. I like that, man.